We want to be very official. We're waiting 1 minute. All right. You're on. You started it. All right. Welcome. This is the Goffstown Conservation Commission. And our meeting is September 22nd. Should we take, I'll read this first before we have roll call.
It's the 23rd, though.
The 23rd? 23rd, okay.
23rd.
All right. In accordance with the Governor's Emergency Order Number 12 pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, the Conservation Commission will utilize the emergency meeting provisions of RSA 91-A to conduct meetings through electronic means while preserving, to the extent feasible, the public's right to notice of such meetings and ability to observe and listen contemporaneously. On the evening of the meeting, you can listen contemporaneously on the telephone by calling 603-766-5646. Once you call in, you will need to enter the participation code, 785645, and do they have to have the number?
Followed by the pound sign.
Followed by the pound sign. Please make sure you enter the pound sign after the numbers to participate. If you are having difficulty calling in to the number to participate, please call 603-660-5000 for assistance. Okay, and we will now have roll call. I'm Evelyn Miller, acting chair tonight.
I'm Patty Gale, staff. Now you need to do roll call, whatever.
Jean Walker.
All right. Next.
Susan
David.
Tucker.
Susan Tucker.
David Seaman.
And then Amy.
Amy, are you?
Amy Pollock.
All right. And is anybody else there?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, thank you very much. All right, first thing on our agenda is a plan presentation. Do we have somebody here that is going to be presenting for the Scott Buckland, located at 115 Dana Park Road? Okay, you want to come sit at the table here? This is map 25, lot 27. There's a request for relief of the outer 50 feet of the wetland surface water conservation area, district buffer.
Can I lower my mask?
Yeah, you can take it off.
To allow the owner to construct a 798 square foot addition to existing home by adding an attached garage with rooms above, expand the existing decks and stairs, and also allow on-site improvements to the property by restoring an area of existing pavement to a previous vegetated state. The property is owned by Scott Buckland. Are you Scott Buckland, or are you representing?
Scott is here.
Okay, so you are,
Tim Pelican, the plan, the person who prepared the plans, Promised Land Survey.
okay.
Okay?
All right, yes, why don't you go ahead with your presentation?
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. So, this is a shoreland protection plan that is where the Bucklands are looking to, you have the plan in front of you, I'm assuming,
Yes,
right?
we do.
Okay, and you have two sheets to it?
Yes.
The first sheet is
And then
called-
actually, we do also have your application. So,
I mailed them the ones on the phone have it through the mail. They have the smaller set.
so we have the application that is going to go to DES, I think, or
Yes,
town?
and it has gone to DES.
Okay, all right,
Yes, and I'll give you a little bit of the history of at least this DES application.
sure.
So there's a pre-construction and a post-construction plan as part of sheet 1, sheet 2.
Okay,
For the sheet 1 is more of an existing condition, but I think I'll jump right to sheet 2 because it's a little bit more apropos to what we're trying to do.
okay,
So the Bucklands are looking to basically add a garage over the impervious surface that already exists on the property. The garage being a 28 by 28 foot garage And it's within the driveway area, so it's already an impervious area. And a proposed deck next to the garage. All this activity is outside the 50-foot jurisdictional 50-foot buffer of Piscataqua River, which is certainly both a town and a state requirement, basically building nothing within 50 feet. Some things are pre-existing and grandfathered, and in this case, there is an existing deck and a small portion of a porch that is slightly within that, but those are proposed to remain.
That's interesting.
But a proposed deck and a proposed garage is outside that 50-foot setback. As part of this proposal, we submitted a proposal comparable to this, although this plan has changed back in the early part of the year, and the state, I think on around January, rejected the plan, shoreline protection plan. It did probably come to your conservation, at least you would have seen it maybe, but the plan was rejected by DES. So this is a revamp of that plan in an attempt to meet all their requirements better. As part of this plan, again, there's a proposed garage and deck, and those are shown in shading on the second sheet. And then,
All right, so the garage, and I see two different decks. I see one that looks like a proposed deck that is facing the water. And then I see one deck, it looks like, or is that, there's an existing deck and then like they're adding another one that is on the roadside, is that correct? It is on
yes,
the
that is
south
correct.
side, okay.
That is correct. It's basically a stairwell and a small deck up top to service the top of the garage.
Oh, it's for the rooms upstairs?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is this?
Because it's raised, this garage, well, go ahead, I'm sorry.
It sounds like a two-story garage,
Yes.
yeah. And then, and you have a 4-foot stockade, what's that? Just so I can,
That's an existing 4-foot stockade fence that exists there.
okay,
That's existing.
so that, all right, okay, go on.
And then so those are the proposed add-ons, and then well, there's another add-on, but I'll get to that in a minute. But then there's subtractions of pavement on there's actually a ramp, a boat ramp, basically, right down to the lake, or I call it a lake, but the river. It looks more like a pond in this area. But there's a boat ramp down to that. There's a paved walkway a paved entrance that exists there. But there's pavement on each side of this, and as part of our proposal, we're taking out that pavement section on those two shaded areas on each side, and that equates to over 1,500 square feet of removal. And then lastly, what has been added as part of the plan is tree shrubs and plantings along Piscataqua River, as shown on this plan. This was done in unison with the Fish and Game Department, trying to remember her name, who recommended these plantings. We've reviewed back and forth with her, and so these plantings are per Fish and Game's recommendation. Additionally, before we submitted these plans officially to the town, we went through a peripheral review with the DES for shoreline protection to ensure that these plans would be relatively approvable in their stance, so that we didn't have to go through the whole thing again after we made a first attempt. And through Rosemary Orrs, the reviewer, believed these plans were satisfactory, and in fact, we've resubmitted them back to the state and are awaiting their approval. While we await their approval, we're coming to the Conservation Commission, and of course, we have to go to the Planning Board because it's within that 50 to 100 foot zone where requirements are had for approval such as this. So that's the relative presentation, but I'm sure there's gonna be questions, perhaps, the
Yes.
commission or abutters or whomever might have.
Right. Okay, I just wanted to see fire pit, so you have trees, and then you have a fire pit down at the edge here too. It looks, I'm just looking at what you've got on your map to make
It's a
sure
busy
that,
plan, for sure, because as a, we just, part of DES requires you to locate any impervious and basically everything on the lot, all trees, everything. So it is a busy plan, but.
it is a busy plan.
Mhm.
Propose, where is your septic system?
On the street side.
Yes. It says approximate septic area in the front, right next to the word lawn, just below the map and lot. and
Existing
area.
lawn where there's a garden, wood retainer wall garden, is it there, at area? No?
No, it's right in the front near the, if you look at where the,
Approximate septic area, see it, I
Yeah.
see it right there, okay. Overhead, okay. All right, retainer wall. So your greenhouse, you have a retainer wall beyond the greenhouse. The greenhouse must be built up, and the retainer wall is, okay.
Yeah, there's a small retaining wall that comes around there, yes.
Okay, and then, so then and the water's edge. Okay. Is, because I have to say, from the pictures, it looks as though the land had been built up. Is that right, by the water's edge, or that you have a retainer wall by the water?
There is a retaining wall along the entire frontage of the river, yes.
Okay.
And as in 2015, the DES approved a dredge and fill along the river. And that work has been implemented, so. I
Along,
have a copy of that DES wetland.
is that along the whole river? or-
Yes,
Oh, okay.
along this frontage,
Okay, along this frontage?
yes.
Okay. I have to say, I have a permit right now, I have waterfront property up on Newfound, and
Wow.
I am really surprised to see all this, I mean,
Can I ask how many rooms are going to be up over the garage?
Just one.
Yeah, just one room, not a bedroom. but-
One room, living room on top of the garage, and then a bedroom on top of that.
Yeah, okay, so it's a living room and a bedroom being added.
a living room and a bedroom being added, and then he said something about something on
A
top
bath
of it.
and any bathrooms?
Yes.
Yes,
So the garage is gonna
It's a
have,
Be a bed.
it's an accessory essentially.
The garage.
The garage is going to have a bedroom, a living room, and a bathroom.
well, just a moment, we're gonna let him explain it now.
The garage will be on the ground floor,
Are you gonna have a two-car garage or a one-car garage?
two-car garage.
All right, on the first floor.
and just, Scott, can you just say your name for the
Oh,
record?
sorry, my name's Scott Buckland, I'm the owner.
Okay.
So in the ground level, it's a two-stall garage. The first story will be a living room with a very small
So
half
I would
bath.
call that a second story, because if the garage, you have two cars, then the second story is gonna be a living room.
Okay.
Okay, all
Second
right.
story.
I
And
think
then
that's where we're having trouble. Okay, go on.
Third story will be a new master bedroom.
Okay, so the second story is gonna have a living room, a bathroom?
Yep.
And a kitchen, or, no, just living room and a bathroom, and then the third story is going to have a master bedroom.
Correct.
And all
Expanded
this
to
is
the
gonna
existing
connect with
home.
the house. Okay. And then off of that, you're gonna have a deck that is also gonna connect with the existing deck, probably, so that's gonna be almost like a wrap deck.
Exactly, yep.
All right, do we have some more questions? I will have to say, I was really surprised to see how much concrete there is, only because of what I'm going through myself, where I mean, I'm not allowed to do anything. It is just remove what was rotting wood steps to go down and replacing it with granite steps to go up, and we're not putting, I mean, so I'm,
That's probably because the regulations have changed, they're more stricter now, but a lot of this stuff is
this was
existing.
all approved?
Throughout the years.
20-plus years ago.
Well, do we have any more questions about this?
I do. Susan Tucker.
Okay,
I'm concerned about the fact that there is a paved driveway right to the edge of the water that goes right through the inner 50. I don't know if that was permitted, and if it was, I'd like to see that permitting document because that has not been allowed in Goffstown for a while. There's also a concrete deck type thing that sits within the inner 50 is a propane tank that is very close to the water. There's also a greenhouse. So these structures, along with this huge expanse of pavement, exist inside that inner 50. And I'd just like to know how that was all permitted. This is the first time we have seen this. My other question, well, let you deal with that.
okay.
That's been
They're, I'm just saying, telling the people that they're looking at the map, and we are now gonna have an explanation about that.
Right, so the driveway I did back probably, I'm gonna guess, over 20 years ago. And I did not get a permit for that. I didn't think I needed one at the time. And we just paved it.
Oh,
It was always
okay,
used,
no permit on the driveway then.
no, it was always used as an existing ramp since the 60s.
Right, but it's paved now.
It is.
That's not, okay, go ahead.
Yep, and the concrete is a slab that holds a 500-gallon propane tank. And at the
That was
time,
permitted inside the inner 50?
it was inspected by the fire department and the town at the time when I built the house in 1997.
Right,
So,
that's not permitting, that's inspected.
okay, so they signed off on it, so I'm really not sure, to be honest.
Okay? What about the greenhouse?
Greenhouse is under, it's very small. It's not permanent.
It's
Not
not
permitted.
permitted. Okay,
What about the stairs that come off of the existing porch that are in the 50 on the front,
Those
Oh,
were-
wow.
water side?
Those were built in 1997.
Were they permitted?
The whole house was permitted. When I built the house
Well,
back in
that's not part of
1970.
the house. The house was permitted, but this was a porch deck that was added, and these are stairs that are in the 50. And generally, as a Conservation Commission, we don't allow anything in that inner 50. So did this come to the Conservation Commission?
Back in 1997?
Yeah?
I don't know.
That's
Okay.
something we would have to look at.
yeah, because actually the commission and our regs have gone back in the 80s. So,
Is that actually in the 50?
Yeah, just barely.
Hi, Evelyn. This is Carlos. Can you hear me?
yes, Collis. So Collis, yes. And what we are doing now is looking at the Buckland property. Is that right?
Yep,
Buckland?
okay.
Okay,
Yes.
yep, go on. Do you have any questions about this, Collis?
Well, I know that the property has been the subject of many enforcement actions in the past, and I'm wondering what the current status of those is.
Oh, all right, I'm gonna make sure that they understand the question, or is it clear enough to you to answer that, or does he need to elaborate?
I believe all the issues we have were resolved. I don't think we had any open issues.
It
All right, did you hear?
seems like this is an awfully big addition to be putting on in that area.
Well, wait, Jean, I'd rather just, Collis asked a question, which was, there have been issues on this piece of property before, I think with DES, and he was asking, have those been resolved or are they still pending?
I believe they've been resolved. The wall that I put in years ago, I applied for the after-the-fact permit for all that. And as far as I know, all that stuff is resolved. We went back and forth for many, many months.
Okay, Collis, did you hear that?
Yeah, I did, thank you.
Okay. All right, Jean, did you have something you wanted to say?
Well, I just feel that that's adding a great deal to that piece of property at the river. You're adding almost another dwelling with the amount of space. It's not quite doubling what's already there, but you're adding bedrooms and a bathroom. I don't know. It just seems like a lot. I don't know what anybody else thinks.
If I can address just for a minute.
Yes.
It might seem that way, but they have a right to add on to their home like anybody would. And this area of 800 square feet of an addition, they're actually taking off, that's over an impervious area already, and they're doubling the impervious area coming off down by the river. So there is good intentions of the owner, and as well as plantings along the river. So regarding adding on to a house, I would say it's a large enough lot, and everybody has a right to add on, and they're respecting the 50 feet from
Yeah, I
the
think-
river.
Okay, so
Can I add something? One of the reasons why we're doing this is my mom is getting up there in the years, and we're trying to give her a place where she can live out the rest of her days in a peaceful, nice spot and not have to worry about bills on her side and having somebody come take her for a driveway or cooking her dinner. So we're moving her in with us, and the house is basically too small to do it now.
I sure hope you don't have any stairs for her.
We've
I'm
got a-
getting on to it, I know it does. First floor is always the best.
Put an elevator in.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, I think the big
Okay,
question
I have
is,
another question.
okay, Susan.
Uh,
Water, 50-foot water.
I took a ride by there. I knocked on the door, but nobody answered. So I really didn't want to go on the property without approval. But the numbers, your butter, as I'm looking at the plan to the left, is 117 Danish Park Road. There's a house there. Is that's your house? And then the number, it says 117 and 118. I'm confused about the lot numbers, how they're,
So the lot number is 115 that we're working with, 118 is across the street.
okay, so it's 115.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the next door is, also yours, is 117?
So back in 1997, we applied for the original building permit for this place. It had come through as 117, and somewhere along the line with the tax bills, it was changed to 115. So I'd never got a straight answer of what it actually was, so unfortunately, it's kind of fallen under both at sometimes.
Well, exactly. I was driving by and I thought, well, where's 115 and what's this 117?
It's
Anyway,
very confusing.
It is confusing.
It is.
This piece of property at 115, was this a consolidation of several lots? Because I noticed there was a chain link fence. I didn't know who owned that, which way it went, which property it went to. Where there's a,
The chain
chain link
link
fence from down the side?
along the driveway?
Yes,
Yeah, that's all the same lot,
that's 115.
correct.
Both
Okay.
sides of that fence.
Okay.
His lot is approximately 0.62 acres, Susan.
0.62, okay, 0.6, I'm writing that down, okay. And that's the 115, that includes the garden, because I noticed that was totally undeveloped, this piece on the other side of the chain link fence,
Yep.
that's just the lawn, okay. Okay,
So,
that is confusing.
So can I chime in for a minute?
Yes, Collis.
So we typically do site inspections of the applications that we get. Is there one? I think we should do one here, just to see what's out there, so we can have the plans in hand, stand out there on the ground and look at what's going on. I think that would be prudent.
Uh,
I agree.
I agree.
okay, I guess,
Amy, you're a little broken up.
it sounds like, it sounds like the commission right now is suggesting a site walk on this. I think, yeah. So, I don't think we need to have a motion on that, but I think to have a site walk, we'd like to get it done as quickly as possible. So, do we have,
Evelyn, can I make a suggestion?
yes,
Patty, could you send out a doodle poll to folks to find out their availability so we can find a common date when people are available to go out and look at the site?
Yep, I mean,
That
can you do
doable?
a poll now and see who's available? It'd be,
Yeah.
it would be good to
Kyle-
like have it on the record.
yeah. Kyle's, I've done those doodle polls, and it just adds more time. I think it would, if we can come up with a date, say, in the next week or 2 weeks, I think that would be better than surveying through, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Okay, I'm looking at my
My
calendar.
intent is just to try and find a time when, some members can get together that works within their schedules.
Right.
What about like a Saturday?
Okay, so I'm trying to find my,
Okay, this is Susan Tucker again.
Yeah.
Okay, my concern is, the property is fenced off. And I am not comfortable going on a piece of property that has gates and fences. It's not like we can stand on the road and see the whole thing. So we need to know from the owner, Mr. Buckland, if
if he can meet us there.
Absolutely.
he can, whether he can meet us or he doesn't need to meet us, but we need to have his approval to pass through.
I would like to be
Okay.
there when you guys come.
He would like to be there, and I appreciate that. He'd like to
Okay.
be there when we do this. All right, today is
Okay.
the 23rd. Are we talking during the, how many would prefer to do it on a weekend, or can you do it in the evening, like say after 5 o'clock on during the weekday? How many want the weekends?
No.
All
I
right.
can do either, but whatever the majority. I can.
I prefer the weekend.
I prefer a weekday.
All right. But I can
Okay.
do either.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right, now we're going to weekdays.
Yeah.
Is after 5 o'clock, would that be possible? How,
Yes,
I'll ask,
yes.
all right, Collis
For
said,
me.
all right. Jean?
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay, it sounds like after 5 o'clock would be, Andrew, fine. I don't know if all of us are gonna show up, but anyway, at least we're getting down. It is very hard to do it like this, I mean,
I just
So-
want to point out, if 4 or more go, you need to take like
Minutes.
minutes as if it's a meeting, because
Okay.
that constitute a meeting.
Yeah.
So just even
Okay.
like a quick paragraph is
Okay.
fine. And I need to post it.
Okay, oh boy. Okay, so now we're down to next week, sometime after 5 o'clock or 5:30. What day are we talking about? Would somebody like to suggest a day? How about,
We're talking about next week,
yes,
which goes into October.
First is a Thursday. September
Okay.
30th is a Wednesday.
I will put it on my calendar if somebody can come up with a special day.
right.
How about Tuesday?
29th.
What's the date, Tuesday? I'm sorry, I don't have my calendar.
29th. Tuesday's the 29th.
September
Is that
20,
October 6th?
No,
Oh,
29th.
September 29th.
Next Tuesday, the 29th, does that work for majority of you?
All right, let's,
Yep,
okay,
yes.
Yep.
who
Yep.
would like to attend this? We're gonna, because if we go over 4, then we have to have minutes and we have to notice it as a public meeting, so let's,
Just give me a quick paragraph.
yeah, but we could do.
Yeah,
we
you could
don't
do
need
that,
many.
no problem.
How many wanna go or who wants to go, what do we say, September 29th, that's right, September
Yep.
29th?
That's a
September
Tuesday
29th,
At 5,
At-
5:30 or 5 o'clock, what time?
Andrew, if you wanted to go, what time is it best for you? You're here,
Either is
5:30.
5:30.
5:30?
sounds great.
5:30.
Yep.
5:30.
Okay.
All right.
All right, wait, I want to find out who's signing up for this? Sorry, who's signing up to go?
I think they all are.
Call us.
Collis, who else? Susan?
I can go, Tucker.
Susan?
I can go. Jean Walker.
Jean? Do you want to go, Andrew?
Yeah,
Andrew, Amy?
I am happy to go if you want me to be an alternate or not, depending on if you want to have it be a formal meeting.
Well, I think we probably have enough. I don't think we need any more, but 4's enough.
Okay, that
Okay.
still has to be posted.
But Collis is not a member.
Oh, yeah, Collis is not.
All right.
Yep, so you're fine with the 3.
Okay. We
Unless
ha-
David wanted to go. David's on.
Sounds like you have it covered.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, and so we're going to, one person is gonna be in charge, and, Jean, you're gonna be in charge.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to take notes, because you're gonna have to get back to us
So you're
about it.
not gonna attend? You're not going?
Oh.
No.
You got enough.
Okay, all right.
I mean, if I go, then it becomes a
Yeah.
meeting. Okay.
That's why I was
Great,
thinking
this
this.
is very efficient. It's really easier than a doodle poll, believe me, those are. Okay, so it sounds like we will be seeing you, Mr. Buckland. Buckland,
Yes, ma'am.
on your property, and, at 5:30 on Tuesday, September 29. And I think the issues are going to be, how much blacktop's coming off. And I see you've got it there, but I think they want to look over the whole area.
That's fine.
You're proposing an awful lot of stuff.
Yep.
And our big concern is protecting the water. I guess my question was if that boat ramp gets to stay. I'm surprised that that wasn't asked to be, did the state suggest taking that away?
We didn't put it on the table because he
That's-
uses it, so.
Well, okay, anyway, that'll be something I think they'll be looking at also, so. Okay,
So that means that you'll be back on October 28th before, they'll talk about the sidewalk and have you come back in.
Perfect.
Okay? And I'll pass on to the planning board that a sidewalk was scheduled for them. And they're not providing any comments at this time.
And we'll also have been through the planning board tomorrow evening, so we might have other things to address.
look at two.
Yes.
There you
And
go.
I would think that they probably would continue it because they'll want their input.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, just so that the people that are on the telephone line understand, we will do a site walk, a report that we will be discussing back here on our next meeting, which is October 28th.
Yep.
And it was also mentioned that they are going to be going to the planning board tomorrow evening, and if the planning board has any other concerns, that they will be passing that on to us, and we may be just looking around anyway. Not that we have anything to do with the
I don't
planning
know
board.
if they'll pass
things.
on concerns to you,
Okay.
because you're supposed to make the recommendation to
Just for
them.
that, okay, fine. Okay, we're all set.
The only little, thing that I wanna mention is
Yeah.
just, it was mentioned a few times that a lot is being proposed here, but I do want it to be said that what's proposed and what's being taken off is double. In other words, our proposal in terms of impervious area is, this proposal lessens the impact. That's what I want you to know, and make some improvements for plantings and other things as Fish and Game recommended.
Recommend.
Granted, we do have the pavement down there, but maybe there's a concession or something that can happen
Maybe
as far as
the-
that goes, but we've made attempts, and
Right.
the DES recognizes that
Right.
too, so.
It may be,
Yeah, this is David Neiman. I would suggest you put some numbers on that. That would be helpful.
They
You know,
are.
how much area is being used for the addition, and then how much area is actually in the area where the addition is going, and how much is being taken away, so that there's a net change number. I mean, it's
Yep, it is,
Well, if you quantify it, it's easier to understand.
understand, and
That,
it is
that should be part of
carefully,
their application.
Right.
it's carefully
They need to
labeled on
provide
the,
those numbers.
Sorry,
Yeah, I see it on the notes, actually, of the drawing.
okay. Well, we're getting a response from the, engineer or?
okay. All I was gonna say is it is carefully spelled out on the plan, all these numbers, as
Not
well
on the
as-
plan, I think it's in the, application,
It's in
but,
the notes,
it's
I
on the
can see it
plan,
in the
too.
notes.
It's in the notes on the plan.
but maybe you could,
Yep.
are you gonna be on the sidewalk too?
Yes.
Okay, then maybe you could just add them real quickly, just on,
Have a summary sheet for you.
thank you very much.
I will.
Okay,
Good, thank you so much.
thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
everybody.
These are very unusual meetings for us.
I love walking outside.
I thought we did very well to get through that. All right, actually, fortunately, this is not a long meeting. We're gonna look at the minutes now. Are there any corrections to the minutes of August 26, 2020? Any objections?
This is David. I have maybe one small correction,
All right,
and that's in the part where it's talking about the hearing for the purchase of map 8, lot 13B. Second statement, it says, David Neiman said the commission received a handout and map. Then it says, that won't be available for the general public. I just want to clarify, it's not being withheld from the general public. What I said, or at least what I meant at the time, was because we're on a phone call, we can't show the map. Anybody is welcome to get a copy or make any kinds of arrangements to provide it. It's not a secret document. It's not being withheld.
okay,
We can ask Gail to amend it, or we can add that.
okay. Well, then do we have maybe
Okay.
a motion to accept with the amendments to the minutes?
So moved, Tucker.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, Jean, second.
Gotta do a roll call.
All those in favor?
You gotta do a roll call.
Do I have to do
Gene
a-
Walker.
Aye or no? Aye. Okay? All right, this is, if you're in favor, Jean Walker's in favor. Susan?
Yes.
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
David?
Yes.
And
Andrew's voting tonight.
Andrew?
Aye. Wait, no, take it back. Abstain.
Oh, abstain, that's right, he wasn't, okay.
I got a little excited. Sorry.
And I think that's all of us and I, okay, so, Evelyn,
And
okay.
for the, you should
Okay,
point him for the record, so
Okay.
when Gail
Oh,
does
now-
the minute, that
oh.
he's a voting member.
Okay, so we have to do that right this minute,
I would do it,
okay.
because if you're voting on anything else.
All right, so if we're appointing Andrew to be a voting member today because we don't have anybody else,
You don't have Chuck.
right?
We
Okay?
don't have anybody else.
We have to, yeah, right. I know. Do we, okay, that's it, he's been appointed as a voting member today, okay. Okay, all right, and then the last thing, David Neiman, do you have, well, actually, there's correspondence, I can quickly go through that. We just have a folder of correspondence, if anybody wants to look at it. The shoreline protection, permit, which we just had. We have, the copy of the invoice paid to Goffstown Waterways, for pulling the milfoil. Patty, can you talk to us a little bit about that?
There's not much to talk to about. They had the hand pulling, they submitted an invoice, and it's been paid.
Paid.
The minus, our portion was $1,125, as they got a 40% grant from the state.
Okay.
And did we already vote to pay for that? I don't remember.
You had voted
We did.
back a while ago, up to a certain amount to
Okay.
pay for them. So as they come in, I've been submitting them, because they're all way under what they have
Projected,
asked for.
yeah,
You approved them out, and they've come under, and
great.
Namaski's really under.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then we also have, and again, you can look at it if you want, but the copy of the budget, a copy of the supply lines with the source letter, newsletter, the town and city magazine, a copy of the letter, a copy of the letter from Frank and Janice Hobbs.
It's all in our packet, Evelyn.
Right, and I was gonna say, I don't know if you all read it, it's a long letter. They didn't call in, did they?
No.
Okay. Well, we're
It
gonna
wasn't
do,
a noticed hearing.
all right, we are doing a site walk. And a copy of the 2017 tax deeds. That was all in our packet, and if there's any comment from anybody, or we will just say that we have no comment and it'll go to the,
I have comment.
Okay.
Don't say no comment.
no, I know, just a minute.
There's
David.
definitely some properties discussed. My question is this something we do in public session, or is this something that should be done in closed session because we're talking about individual properties? Can we get a ruling from our selectmen's rep on that?
Colin.
He is off the phone. He is hung up.
He left.
Oh, no.
I haven't been told it has to be done in non-public. What it is when they go through this every year, they send comments to if planning has a comment, if conservation has a comment. I can tell you, planning looked at it and said they recommended the tax deeding of the properties, and they didn't discuss any specific properties. I know there's one that has a conservation easement on it. You could state you have a concern with the property that has a conservation easement on it.
There's three that we absolutely need to discuss. I think it's very important.
Yeah,
So-
I would agree with that.
All right, so
You can refer to them by the map and lot.
Excuse me?
You can refer to them by the map and lot if you wish,
rather,
without a specific
Well,
name.
my question was, should we have this discussion in a non-public session because of the personal nature of talking about individual properties?
and it sounds like we should.
Probably right.
So I think we're gonna.
But then if you
Yeah,
make
I'll
them
remind it.
vote, you'll have to come out to make a vote. A vote.
All right. But before we do that, open space update.
Okay. Oh, okay, then why don't we, all right, open space update, and then we'll do the, closed session, and that will be the end of our business then, and then we can adjourn and just come out of it. Okay, all right, open space discussion, or whatever you wanna tell us, David.
Yeah, just to give you a couple of updates. First of all, on the purchase of Map 8 Lot 13B that we had the hearing on last month. It's gone through all the public hearings. The Select Board unanimously approved it last week on the 14th. And the closing will occur either next Monday or Tuesday, and then we'll be done.
Wow, good, very good.
Wow, fast.
Super.
And then on another project, the Burns easement. Are you still there? It suddenly got quiet.
Yep,
No,
we're
no,
all
we're all
here.
here, all three of us.
We're here.
There's been general static background noise and it suddenly disappeared, so I was afraid I was cut off. On the Burns project, we had submitted a farm grant application to DES, and they accepted the application,
Oh.
and they have scheduled a site walk where committee members come out and they do the site walk to see the property. That's when you know you're a serious contender, when they do the site walk. And that's scheduled for October the 1st.
Wow, oh, that's soon.
Good.
So
Okay.
I will be attending that along with members of PLC.
Wow, well, that's great, that's really good, okay.
So that's all the news from the open space.
Well, that's all good news, though, great.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna, if that's all of our news and everything else on our agenda, then we are now going to go through the process of going into a non-public session. What do we do?
Yeah, I wonder if there'd be a way we could get Collis back for this.
I could try calling him.
And tell him to call back.
That would be good because, yeah,
He's a selectman and he'll, sure.
He's a select board rep, and some questions may come up that he could address better.
Okay, first, do you wanna go into non-public session?
We
Under
do.
RSA 91A:3, Roman numeral 2D, real estate?
Collis, we would like you to get back online, because we're going to go on into a non-public session
Yeah.
about the tax.
Oh,
Yeah.
you could do it that, you could do it
Because
that
right now
way.
you're on camera.
A lot.
I think we
Aye.
should make the motion to go on to non-public session, do a roll call vote, and then we'll be off and,
So I just want to verify how we do this.
we can do
How
it
do
for
we
real
vote?
estate.
We hang up on this meeting once we've done the vote, and
Well,
then
no.
we call back in to what?
You are on,
Or do you just shut us off TV?
okay, you are the only people that are on the phone, and when we go into non-public, they will shut off the recording of this. It gets live streamed on Facebook and on GTV 22. You're
Okay.
the only people that
And
are on
we'll
the
just
phone.
say on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
Got- Okay,
And
that sounds good.
And I did put in a call to Collis, and he said he will call in. So he's supposed to come back.
That's awesome.
All right,
So you need to do a motion, a second, and a roll call.
Well,
okay,
I'll make the motion that we go into non-public session per RSA 91A 311 parentheses D for the purposes of discussing real estate.
okay, and we have a second there,
I'll second it.
Oh.
Susan Tucker.
okay, and I'm gonna do a roll call. Jean Walker,
Yes.
Amy Polak,
Aye, yes.
Chuck's not, Chuck Freiberg, he's
He's
not
not
on.
on.
All right, David Neiman,
Yes.
Susan Tucker,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes, I.
Evelyn, yes. All right, so the motion carries, and we are now
Going into non-public, and we will be adjourning after we come out.